Yeah, just the second drowning with the same baby. Just the second drowning.
At that moment, officers were still being told there was hope that the child made it. But that one sentence from the neighbor raised a question investigators just could not ignore. Was this really an accident, or had there already been a prior warning?
Crazy. I wonder why one of the other babies has a coughing like he's all congested. There's an ice box in there. He has no clothes but a diaper on. Baby probably has pneumonia.
On May 9th, 2025, officers with the Tallahassee Police Department were dispatched to Magnolia Terrace Apartments after a serious emergency involving a 2-year-old boy in a bathtub. According to the first version officers heard, Raymona had started a bath, stepped away to help another child, and came back to find something was seriously wrong. When officers arrived, Raymona appeared frantic. EMS and police were already on scene, and at first, everything looked like a mother trying to explain a horrible emergency.
What's going to be 1830 Nicholas Drive. Going to be rescued to the EMS between that way has it as a location. Representative Hill, last time they were on something was taking the night. I'm passing that. 426745. Make sure you start heading that way.
Her baby. So I'm gonna bring you here. No. I'm gonna go to the hospital with you. Is he? Let me. Go ahead, just go ahead.
Are you mama?
Yes.
Okay. So, sorry, I didn't want to. No, go ahead. Go get your stuff, okay? How did the kid end up by it? You haven't gotten there yet?
Yeah, we got there. So she fed them. They do an early dinner because they normally start.
Just watch her upstairs.
Anybody else in there?
No, sir?
Is there anybody else inside?
No, it was just us. Everyone's out.
The first version officers heard was simple. Raymona said she had been preparing food for her children when her youngest son got food on himself and needed a bath. She started the bath, stepped away to help with another child, and when she came back, something was seriously wrong.
I think so. Let's lock this up.
Oh, we can lock it?
Yeah. Well, basically, she gave the kid a bath. She left him in there after she bathed him to go do some other shit. When she went back in there, he was in the water.
Then officers tried to understand one detail that made the bathroom story more complicated. According to Raymona, the bottom faucet in the bathtub did not work properly, so she usually ran the water through the upper shower faucet instead. She also said that the drain stopper was not working right, meaning the water could collect in the tub even as it slowly drained.
Okay. So the water was running in the shower in the tub. Is that what I'm getting? Okay, all right. Go ahead. I'm primary. You just have shower. You don't have.
I do, but they didn't fix that part, so it's only the shower
That's
that
what I'm
runs.
saying. You only have shower. You don't have water that fills up from the tub.
Yes,
Okay.
but it still does for some reason because I believe the plug thing with the water, the drain,
Okay,
it needs to
stops.
be fixed.
Okay, so it was filling up.
Even though the shower was
Even though
on, but I
okay,
didn't
that's
know
what
that.
I'm. Okay, all right.
According to that report, Raymona said that after placing her son in the bathtub with the water running, she put toys in the tub for him to play with. She then left the bathroom to attend to her 1-year-old child and clean up the kitchen. She also claimed the stove was still on and that a pot was smoking when she entered the kitchen and living room area. According to Raymona, that distraction kept her from watching the baby more closely. But later, investigators said there was little to no evidence of an urgent stove emergency when officers arrived or when detectives inspected the apartment. Raymona claimed that when she checked back in within about a minute, she found her son in the tub and immediately knew something was wrong. She said she took him out, called for help, and began CPR. At first, there was a small sign of hope. Officers were told the child was alert. But that relief would not last. While officers were focused on the bathroom emergency, they also noticed another child in the home who raised concerns of his own.
Bob's gonna know more.
You have a unit by chance?
It's kind of crazy. I wonder why one of the other babies has a coughing like he's all congested. There's an icebox in there. He has no clothes but a diaper on. She was leaving with him. I had to just grab a little onesie to give her. Baby probably has pneumonia.
This detail in itself does not prove what happened to the son in the bathtub, but it does show officers were no longer looking at just one emergency. They were starting to look at the conditions around both children. And then, just as officers were leaving, someone from the apartment complex walked up and gave them the first clue that this case might be much bigger than a bathtub accident.
Sir, could I ask one of y'all a question? Yeah, because this the second drowning with the same baby. It's the second drowning.
You have to go through DCL.
DCL?
Yes, ma'am.
Could y'all put in the case number where they can help us with DCL?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
After leaving the apartment complex, officers went to the hospital, and there, the neighbors' comments started to sound less like gossip and more like a warning that had already been missed.
Okay, let's see if you can call me.
We have one prior report on this baby. It was from December of 2023. It's the exact same thing. 9 months old, found not breathing in the tub.
Work. Yeah, we were notified about it.
Cool. Well, not cool, but I looked up the neighbor's name. The first time she was like, "This has happened before." This was the same. Oh yeah. This was 12-2. The same shit. Same shit.
Now, officers had two separate people pointing towards the same disturbing detail. There had been another bathtub incident before. Reports later said there had been a prior incident involving Ford and a child in 2023 when he was around 11 months old, but it was not initially treated as suspicious. But before officers ever heard that confirmation at the hospital, there was another moment back at the apartment complex that showed just how tense and unstable the scene had become. About an hour earlier, officers were still at the apartment complex trying to piece together Raymona's story. But while they were asking questions, the situation around them suddenly erupted.
Okay. All right. All right. Do
I thought he was pointing at me. I thought he was talking to me. Bro, why would you say
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That man, chill out. Go ahead. You say shit is over. Hey, he was not talking to nobody.
Ma'am.
Quit being silly, bro.
Hey, stop it.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
He said,
Punch your shit, bro.
Get your baby. I gotta go. Get your baby. Get your baby. Get your baby. I gotta go.
What? It's a setup.
It's not a setup. I didn't even know they was gonna do all of that.
Cause you got me thinking this. Hey, come on. Hey.
Yes, ma'am. Can I ride with you then?
Here.
All right, bro. Get your baby, bro.
I have him. I can't get on the ambulance with him.
Hey,
Here,
hey,
just,
come on.
can I
I
take
gotta go.
Get your baby, bro. Get your baby.
It's okay. It's all right.
It's not okay.
No, just leave them be. Leave them be.
I'm talking to the officer. I said it's not okay.
Get in the car.
That's
If you
all I
going,
said.
let's go now. If you going, let's go now.
I was only standing here because they pulled
Let's
me to the
go,
side to
Ray.
have a conversation.
Let's go.
Are you done talking to me, officer?
I just need a couple more minutes. I need a couple more minutes.
I'm here.
I don't have a couple more minutes.
We'll get you up there.
Okay.
Okay.
Why?
Hold on. Just. Okay, just come over here. Don't worry about
Now, how am I supposed to do
it. Just. What was, like, seriously, what was that about?
I don't even know.
Does he know Buddy? I'm assuming they know each other.
Yeah, some kind of, I guess you say beef because of me, but not because of he's over me, something like that.
The scene around officers was starting to say something of its own. A serious emergency inside the apartment, emotions boiling over outside, and personal conflicts around Raymona that no one had fully explained yet. And later, when officers spoke to people close to the family, those personal conflicts would come up again, but in a much more serious way. For the first part of the call, officers were responding to a serious emergency, but after her son was taken to the hospital, the situation began moving in a much more troubling direction. Public reports later said her son arrived in critical condition, and days later, the case would become far more serious. At the hospital, a doctor explained why Ramona's timeline was becoming harder to accept.
Room to grab our phone or do something, but that whole 20 seconds, 30 seconds that you run to another room, you're immediately out of sight, you're worried, and you run right back, and the other kid's screaming in the other room, you go, okay, fine, and you come right back, and
My problem is there's no head trauma or anything like that to this child. Right?
He's got a normal, benign 2-year-old, he had a little bruise, hematoma there, but he had no intracranial hemorrhage.
Right.
He had no retinal hemorrhages.
Nothing that would render him unconscious.
Yeah, no, nothing where I don't think he got beaten, because I've seen at least a couple of kids who were beaten. Now their brain is swelling, they're dying, and won't wake up, and their parent solution is put them in a cold bath. And so I've had kids come in, they died in the bathtub, and they're coming soaking wet, a lot of time in their clothes, and it's because the parents, it's their solution to wake the kid up who's not waking up from the head injury or the liver injury and bled to death in his abdomen. Their solution is, put him in a cold bath. Yeah.
And, I just don't want, a defense to be, he hit his head and that, and fell in the tub. It doesn't seem like that. And I have 2 kids of my own, both of which have had plenty of baths between the ages of 1 and 2, and they can stand up in the bathtub with no problems. So, and typically splashed around and made the entire bathroom wet. So, just to let you know, we're not outside the realm of actual murder. So, okay, all right. Well, thank you for your time.
She definitely is locked in on this the water being a problem and it not.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, that's usually, and then of course, the first 12, 24 hours, she's videotaping everything, second guessing everything. I mean, she's being more attentive and alert. What's wrong with that? Should that be like that? And I want to say, if you would use 1/100th the effort.
Thank you for your time again. I do appreciate it.
That was the shift. Investigators were no longer focused only on the bathroom emergency itself. They were now asking how long the son was really unattended for, and whether something happened before he was even placed in the water. As officers continued speaking with people around the family, another layer of the story started to surface: tension in Raymona's relationship.
Were they staying together?
No.
Okay. Where does he stay?
Gigolo with different girls.
Okay.
And
Where's
I think
he staying now?
with one of his girlfriends, different. You got different girlfriends.
And then the son's grandmother made an allegation that gave detectives another possible pattern to examine.
Yeah, that I sent them to my son.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you trying to say that
Yes.
every time
Yes.
your son doesn't want to be involved,
Yes.
she hurts?
Yes. Everybody feel that way.
Okay.
That allegation was not proof by itself, but alongside the earlier bathtub incident, the doctor's concerns, and the timeline Raymona gave officers, it became one more detail investigators had to take seriously. And that brought detectives back to the question that kept hanging over the case. How much of Raymona's timeline could they actually trust? Detectives then brought Raymona back through the apartment, and their questions focused on one thing: time.
Is there something else that kept you for a few minutes?
I want to say the baby. I can't say how long I was there, but
Okay.
I can say it was like a minute or 2.
Okay.
Trying to get him situated.
Okay. Could it have been longer?
It could have been 3 or 5 minutes. I'll definitely tell you the truth on there because I was trying to help him.
Because Raymona's story depends on that detail, if she was only gone for a couple minutes, it sounds like a fast-moving accident. But if she was gone longer, or if something happened before the bath, the story starts to fall apart.
Basically, she came to get a bath. She left him in there after she bathed him to go do some other shit. When she went back in there, he was in the water.
Then, detectives asked about something that sounds small, but in a timeline case, small details matter.
One of the other things too that's going to get asked of us, hopefully you can answer it. Were you using any drugs, smoking weed, drinking, anything like that?
No, sir.
During the time?
Only thing I had was the black. I'm not gonna lie, the black is on the table, but I didn't smoke it inside. I stepped outside.
Did you step outside while?
I just hit it a little bit while the spaghetti was warming up, and then I just put it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the question was not just whether Raymona checked on another child. It was whether she left the bathroom, did other things, and minimized how long her son in the bathtub was actually unattended for. Months later, police announced why they no longer believed this was just a drowning accident. Tallahassee police said their investigation determined the drowning was the result of foul play. They said Raymona struck the child multiple times, causing seizure-like symptoms, and then left him unattended in the bathtub. So according to investigators, the bathtub was not the full story. The real question became what happened before her son was ever left in the water. And that brings everything back to the neighbor's warning from the beginning.
Sir, could I ask one of y'all a question? Yeah, because just the second drowning with this same baby. Just the second drowning.
You have to go through DCL.
Raymona Ford was arrested in August 2025. At first, police announced murder and aggravated child abuse related charges. Then in September 2025, a grand jury indicted her on first-degree felony murder, aggravated child abuse, and aggravated manslaughter of a child. What first came in as a bathroom emergency slowly turned into something much harder to explain. The timeline kept getting questioned, the prior incident kept coming back up, and the more investigators compared Raymona's story to the scene, the less it seemed to answer. The hardest part is that the warning may have already been there. A neighbor said it, hospital staff remembered it, and detectives later alleged that the bath was only the final piece of what happened, not the beginning. Do you think the first bathtub incident should have triggered a deeper investigation back in 2023? Or is that only clear now because we know how the case ended? Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this case breakdown, please like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications for more content like this. With all that being said, thank you for watching this video.